Hi everyone, and welcome to week 12. So this is going to be a busy week because we are going to do the peer review on our genre analysis paper. So I just wanted to bring up discussions. I know we haven't done discussion boards in a couple of weeks just because I wanted to give you all time to work on your papers. So since we had a little bit of issue with the literacy narrative, I decided to do it just a little bit differently this time. So what I did is I've just created a discussion thread for this. And so just upload a copy of your paper or copy and paste it into the text box, either one. And I'm not going to assign people, but since you're supposed to do 2 peer replies anyway, just find 2 people's papers to review. So if you notice that 2 people have already reviewed a classmate's paper, just skip over them and go on to the next one. My hope is that by Friday, so it's like the literacy narrative. So what I want you to do is upload your copy by Wednesday and have your peer reviews completed by Friday. That is a difference from the Sunday, but that just gives everybody the weekend to gather information about their papers and then, what am I trying to say? Sorry. And then make any corrections they might need to make before the papers are due on Sunday. So again, if I go on, I'll be checking on the discussion boards this week, and if I notice that there is a person whose paper no one's peer reviewed them, I will do it. I will make comments on it. And 2, if you are just unsure about something or somebody said something about your paper and you're not 100% sure if they're right or if you're right, you can email me. Please feel free to email me anytime. I will be happy to take a quick look at it, make sure that the suggestion they were giving is true or not, offer just some advice or whatever you might need. So I will check them late Friday night, as I said, and if someone has not had their paper peer reviewed, which everyone should have at least one person's feedback, hopefully by then, but if not, I will make sure that you do get some feedback before you have to turn in your paper. So make sure you are doing that this week. And then I also, as part of one of, it's actually your assignment, but I want to go to content. One of your asynchronous assignments, I have assigned the genre flip, which is our last big project. And so it's actually kind of simple in a way, probably a little bit more complex than people realize. But what you're going to do for this assignment is to take anything we've written in class. I've had people do the Zombie Apocalypse Scholarship essay prompt that they did. I've had people do literacy narratives, their genre analysis. I mean, the door is wide open. Anything that you have written for this class, I want you to flip it into a different genre. So if it was a paper, then you can turn it into something else that's not a paper. If you've done a PowerPoint, you can turn that into a paper, or you can turn it. I've actually had students make movies, which have been really, really cool. One time I had a student. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Okay, yes. So it was called Silent Depression. She wrote this whole thing about how people sometimes feel depressed because she was analyzing a commercial. It's that commercial where people put the smiley face up that they're really like severely depressed, but they're trying to present themselves as happy. And she analyzed that for her genre analysis and presented that. And so she made a movie about what it's like to live with silent depression that hit on the things that were happening within that paper. And it was really, really good. We actually turned it into MTSU, and she won one of our writing awards that year. So it was just really cool. She recruited people, like she recruited some of her classmates. She did some filming at school. She worked at Walmart. She did this whole scene at Walmart. It was great, and it was really funny because at the end she had outtakes because it kept getting interrupted by the announcements at Walmart. I'll have to see if I still have that project so I can share it with you because it, as I said, it won a writing award at NTSU. But you know, the door is wide open. Anything that you could actually take and present in class. Now we're an online class, and so we're not going to be presenting these, obviously. But what I want you to do is pretend that you would be presenting these in class. And so consider your audience. It's going to be an audience of your peers. It's not going to be a bunch of old, millennial boomer college professors like me. Like considering that this is your audience, your peers is your audience, what are you going to need to do in order to keep them engaged? So remember, most people do have that visual element to their learning style, and so if you are doing something like a PowerPoint or presentation or an infographic, I would require you to include some images. Now remember, with the interview project and with the movie, or not the movie, but the interview project, a lot of you did not include images, which was fine. It was not required for that. But if you were going to do a PowerPoint for this one, it is a requirement that you have some sort of visual within it. So yeah, we will also be doing an artist statement, and the link to the artist statement, it's just a really, really brief description saying why you picked that particular genre, why you chose what you flipped it into, what you hope your audience gets out of it. So it's just kind of a little blurb there, because sometimes when you get out into real world situations, you'll be asked to create something, and you really do need to think of the why. And sometimes if you ever do create something artistic, you actually are asked to create an artist statement, like explaining the why and the reasoning that went behind a lot of your choices. And so I think this is an extremely important thing to do. So that is your final project. It's not due until December 5th, so it's right after Thanksgiving. But I want y'all to go ahead and just kind of start thinking about it. And that's going to be one of your asynchronous assignments this week, kind of which one. And you can switch. I want to really emphasize that, because you might think, oh, I really want to do my literacy narrative, but maybe after I get your genre analysis graded, and you're like, oh, I just really kind of like this paper a little bit better. I think I would rather work with it and switch it into something else. You have that freedom. Like, you don't even have to tell me. You can if you want to, but if you decide, yeah, kind of do something different, perfectly fine. You are always welcome to switch your topics in this class. So I hope y'all have enjoyed the genre analysis. I did want to just make a quick note on it. You know, there is a reason behind the madness, the reason I had you do one of those, the genre analysis, because it really is a segue into the 1020 course, which is the research writing. Because guys, more than any other generation in history, y'all are on the market with news. Social media, that's not something most people in this world grew up with. But social media, the internet, all these things, like, it's just amazing to see how much the world has progressed in the past 30 years. It's been a privilege to watch that happen as someone who is in their 40s and has watched this happen. But the thing of it is, y'all are just inundated with news all the time. Like, you're going to be reading this article called The Long and Brutal History of Fake News, because it's been around for a very long time. And the reason why genre/rhetorical analysis is so very, very important is because you have to always be able to discern the truth. Especially when you start writing research type papers, just being able to look at something and immediately start thinking, okay, why are they credible? What credibility does this have? Does it have that ethos? What about, are they trying to manipulate me through logical fallacies? Are they trying to manipulate me through emotions, the pathos? They're trying to make me feel a certain thing. Is it logical? The argument that they're making, does it make sense in this whole big messed up world? Who are they creating this for? Why did they create it? Are they trying to make me feel a certain way? Are they trying to manipulate me? Are they trying to tell the truth? You know, that external audience constraints. So that's why we do that, is so that way, as you do move into research writing and you're having to kind of vet these potential sources for your paper, just having those ideas automatically in your head is going to help you determine what's a good source, what's a bad source. And just in life in general, it's kind of like, okay, what are they trying to do with this? Are they, again, trying to manipulate me? Are they telling the truth? You know, just thinking about who's creating it and the why they're creating it and how they're presenting it is just so extremely important, just to have that discernment. And so that's why we do these assignments. That we're not just trying to torture you, even though it might feel like that sometimes. But I always like to try to explain the why behind things, because I'm not a big fan of giving work I don't feel has value. So, but yeah, that's my little soapbox for today, if you don't mind me saying that. But I am excited to read your papers. I've seen your ideas, and I think I'll have some really, really just awesome things that you're exploring in these, and I can't wait to read them. And I really do enjoy reading them, guys. So I think it's gonna be a fun week, and if you do have any questions or concerns, as always,